Hello, welcome back to the Making Sense podcast. I'm Washeke Ndwati. Now, this past week we've been talking to entrepreneurs about unlocking the potential of your business. And I wanted to make this very, very, very personal as I do it in this podcast about some of the things I think Centonomy did or I did or I was taught to do. And if you listened to my last podcast, we did talk about decluttering, and that this year we're going to stop looking at just our resources. Now, I have dogs, and so that they don't go to the neighbors, we had to put up a fence because we used to get up in the morning and the dogs are the neighbors. So we had to put a fence. And what we realized about the dogs, even when the fence is down, they now will not go to the neighbors because they got hurt. It's an electric fence, so they got hurt when they tried to pass through the fence. So even now when the fence is down, we realize they don't try and do what they used to do anymore. But we are not dogs. But if you evaluate yourself and ask yourself, have I been living inside a box? And many times we have. First of all, if you're running a business, I want you to take time to think, why do you want to run this business? Centonomy for me was my third business, and I was very clear. I wrote it down in my journal in 2009 when I was starting Centonomy. This business must run without me. And that single statement made me operate not like a dog, outside of the box. So what is it for you? I know we talk about purpose, freedom, impact, but I want you to give it something that had meaning to you. That had meaning to me because the last two businesses I was in, it was tiring because everything I had to do. In one of the businesses I had to do, or the other business together with my partners, we had to do all the thinking. And I was like, that's not what I want. That's not freedom to me. So what is it for you? So to unlock the business, first of all, don't define yourself by current circumstances. When I started Centonomy, it was when I had the least money in my life. Yet I started doing financial planning for people. You see the irony in that. So it was not about what was in my bank account, but it was what I knew I could do. And I was committed to learning how to do it. There's a client we still have till today. And when they asked us, it was a pretty young company then, to pitch, it was just honestly to tick the box. We had literally been told is that they need 3 suppliers to submit documents so that they can look like they did their process. And they had this document. So what we did knowing that was we did the document, but when we came to the meeting, we asked for a projector and we talked to them like human beings. People who are families that they need to educate their children, people who are looking towards retirement, and that's what got us the job. And we have that client until today. So don't define yourself by your circumstances. Don't define yourself by your station. And this is important because I have found the value conversation, especially for SMEs, is key. A lot of us are always complaining how we have to underprice. We price less than we know we should price because of that. And we have to stop doing that because we cannot grow pricing your products or services for less than they should be. So what happens, and it is a journey, it's not an overnight change, but if you decide I'm going to move my product from 10,000 shillings to 20,000 shillings, you will start doing the things that are required for you to sell at 20,000 shillings. So you'll start communicating in a certain way. You will structure yourself in a certain way. You will get a certain people to work with you in a certain way. Yeah. So we've got to say, okay, I'm here now, but my price is 3 times this. So, or my value is 3 times this. So what should I actually do today? I remember telling somebody who asked me, why are you pricing higher than everybody else? And I said, I am the best. Of course, there was so much fear around saying that statement. But when I said that, and I did get the job, by the way, I did have to deliver the best and make sure I was the best. Luckily, they did. Not defining by current circumstances includes how we look at people. Many times people tell me I can't afford to hire such and such and such and people because we're still stuck in the box, in the fence. of hiring based on qualifications. Not that qualifications don't matter, but please look, what are you actually asking? So if you need somebody to collect money, what their work is collecting money. And even in the entrepreneurship class that I teach, I always ask these people, and people start giving me qualifications like CPA, accounting experience. And I'm like, what does that have to actually do with that? What is actually needed for somebody to collect money for you? They need to be good with people. They need to be hustlers. They need to know how to get information. They need to be good in communication. So sometimes if that is the role, the accounting qualification may have nothing to do with them. Are you asking them to do your taxes? That is different. The second thing is not getting comfortable in comfort. And obviously, if you've left like a stable job to run a business, definitely you have moved past that. But I'm also talking to those people, and not just businesses, even people who are earning pretty good salaries, or businesses that are fairly stable, where the customers are there, the cash is there. You are not struggling as much as you used to struggle in the early years. More or less, you will be able to pay salaries in the next 1, 2, or 3 months. So it's very easy to start building a business around comfort. And comfort can get very expensive. Start building a business around stability rather than building a business around what was actually the purpose of the business. What did you need to do? So you find people now saying, I'm going to hire more people. I'm going to have bigger offices. And that's fine if it has a purpose. But does it have a purpose? Or are you going too quickly because you're fairly stable, into a decision of it's more overhead to keep the stability? So the stability becomes what you're after. And then you're wondering, how come I'm still feeling so unfulfilled? Yet this is the business that I actually wanted to start. And COVID helped us understand this a lot. So we can come out of that and now aspire to something more. Money can make you comfortable. So there's an illusion that it gets to the point that money will just be okay. And for a while it may seem okay, but money is up and down. So even as entrepreneurs, please save and invest for yourself. There's a point where you will have no salary. So even if money is coming comfortably, please make sure you are saving and investing for yourself. And comfort also comes in the image we have now built. We have now built an image. This is how we present ourselves. This is our office. And when it is time to make the decision to get a bit uncomfortable in pursuit of the most significant purpose, you don't want to disrupt yourself. But I have learned the hard way. It is important to disrupt ourselves before somebody else comes to disrupt you. So sometimes your product is up for change, but you don't want to change because at the moment it is stable. So be the one to start experimenting. Don't do it without thought, but be the one to start experimenting and seeing if there's something else. Be the one to evolve your product, not circumstances to evolve it for you. Thirdly, think multiplication. 10 plus 10 is 20, but 10 times 10 is 100. Are you adding or are you multiplying? Many times I am asked, I want to do business A, business B, business C, business D. Can I do all of them? And these are people sometimes who are starting out, or some people have a relatively stable business, but now they want to expand to a different business. And this is my experience. And I know there are people who do that. But my experience is I started with a personal finance course, then it became for teenagers, then it became for people in campus, and then it became an entrepreneurship program, which now has various offshoots. Then there was a book. I would advise that you also think, even as you're seeing other opportunities that you want to do, what is the natural extension of your business? What is the thing that same client will want? Yeah, with the same location that you're in, with the same resources that you have or similar resources, what can you do fairly easily, fairly quickly? And if you do have to fail while doing it, you fail forward and you fail fast. Yeah. So if you are running a printing business, maybe the definition is what needs to change. When I first started Centonomy, it was not called Centonomy, it was called Personal Finance Training, because all I saw was a personal finance training. But here I am doing a podcast. Here we're running entrepreneurship classes. But the printing business can become, if you say branding, then it opens up the door. That same client will want not just printing, but merchandise, but billboards, but social media. And depending on what you can do, you can now pick. That's the natural extension of the business. Because a lot of people have made the mistake of taking money from a business that's working fairly well and going and putting it in something that is totally different and needs different resources, and then that becomes a burden to this business. It's just a cash cow for that business, and then you're not really investing in this business the way it could have been. So let's not be in too much of a rush. What is the natural extension, and understanding when is actually the right time? And as we're doing multiplication, remember the power of brand. Brand is the salesperson who sells when you are sleeping. Brand is not your logo. It is not because you did a new website. Many companies have rebranded, but their service still stinks. So what was the point of rebranding? Branding is the experience a customer has with you. Are they going to go and talk about that experience when you are sleeping? When you are sleeping, will someone receive your proposal, and because of what they have seen or heard about you, you're already top of mind, or you have the bias is for you, not against you. Yeah. You have an advantage already. That is brand. And when we are multiplying, we're now looking at maybe instead of selling to one customer, what I should actually be doing is focusing on how do I build a brand and get that message across continuously so that I am top of mind. That is now multiplication rather than addition. And your time is used properly, which brings me to my last point. Your time. We've got to multiply time. We've got to multiply time. What is your return on time? What are the things that you do that are the best use of your time? When Centonomy started with me doing one-on-one financial planning, but after doing it for about 10, 20 people, I realized 80% of the problems are fairly similar. So if we do it in group, that same 2 hours, I can help 20 people versus one person. And that's what put that concept of return on time in me. What is your return on time? What is the best use of your time? I know we have to always handle survival, but what is the best use of your time? And when we are thinking about time, we also have to think, how much time do we spend thinking? Think on your business. Think about your business versus thinking in the business. Thinking the business is, this is what I have to do. This is the problem I have to solve. This is the firefighting. This is the client. And that everybody has to do. But spend some time. In our entrepreneurship class, we make people spend 30 minutes a day thinking on your business. Basically, the things I've told you today. How do I build a brand? Where do I need to develop a network? What's the next? How do I evolve this product? How do I actually make it work? We may underestimate the value of it, but when you do it consistently, then you'll be like, oh, if I need to meet this person, this is what I need to do. So shortly, you'll be having coffee with the person you needed to meet, or you will have sought the information, or you'll have gone for the course that you need to go to. So think about your business. And remember this, the floor of your business can be anything. Rock bottom can be because of anything. Money, sometimes you feel like you're rock bottom because of money. The economy, competition, many things that are out of our control. Some things that are in our control and we just need to learn how to do. But many things, a pandemic can make your business go through a roller coaster moment. But the ceiling of your business is you. Your business will grow as high as you. How you think, what you do. So what are you actually exposing yourself to? So let me repeat that. The floor of your business can be anything, and a lot of things are external. Many of times you don't have control about it. But the ceiling of your business is you. And today the secret, I've already told you the secret. Think. Spend 30 minutes thinking. thinking about the business. Because when you start spending time thinking, what you then do is spend time learning. Thank you very much. Listen in next week.